Hey guys, welcome to another Star Citizen Alpha 4.8 Evocati PTU testing and report. A new 4.8 Evocati build was released this past weekend, about 24 hours ago, with the intent of going to Wave 1 PTU. But I guess that didn't work out, because the build remained in Evo this whole weekend. And today, which is Sunday, my time, Pacific time, CIG said they are going to do another Evo build with a new item recovery system. But until this very night, that didn't happen either. So I feel like CIG is really trying to push the 4.8 patch out of the Evo to PTU. However, they must have met with some issues that kept delaying it, which is very common during the PTU cycle. And I think most likely tomorrow, which is Monday, or latest Tuesday, we're going to see Wave 1. So be ready to dive in if you have the access to it. Now, in this latest 4.8 Evo build, one major problem they still haven't solved is the EVA bug. This has happened ever since the very first 4.8 Evo patch. If you EVA out of your ship, you just keep spinning in space and can't use the mouse control. They said they have fixed it in the patch note, but they didn't. It is still happening in this very patch. And I'm glad this patch did not go to Wave 1 because it is just so hard to use EVA to test anything. It's such a pain. So this has to be fixed ASAP, hopefully in the next build. Oh, by the way, another thing is that they also broke the Gladiator's torpedo bay. There is no torpedoes in it. And when you go to your vehicle loadout manager, it just says ordnances, but under ordnances, it's all empty. Nothing. So either they're doing something with the Gladiator or this just bugged out. But we'll check that once patch goes to Wave 1. One of the nicest improvements in the coming 4.8 is the MFD that shows the ship preview of both the self ship as well as the target ship. Actually, it's called the MFD Cast. It's on top of your screen when you fly the ship. The new 3D ship preview looks much contrasted and clearer. You can see your ship window color. Sometimes it's in purple, especially if you fly bigger ships. And you can even see the engine color when you boost. You can see a much better shield color in different strengths. With full strength, it shows dull blue, and when shield goes down a little, the color slowly changes to orange, then red. Not only that, the ship hull also shows different colors when the health goes down. With full health, the hull shows a dull blue color, and then when the health goes down, the color turns orange. And when the health goes to 0, it turns to black, which is a bit odd. They definitely can improve on this. Maybe use red for very low health, and then white or something else, more distinguishable to indicate 0 health. But this is certainly in the right direction, especially when your bullet hit a ship or your ship is getting hit with a bullet. You can see exactly where that bullet hits with a small flash of red circle. Because previously, we just see the flashing of the hull indicates the parts that's getting hit. But this time, you can actually see exactly on the point where your ship is getting hit. For each single bullet, if they hit you with 2 bullets, you see 2 red circles flashing. If it's a missile, you can also see where the missile hits the point of impact. That's really helpful and looks really clean. So I think this little feature is a really nice improvement, but it still needs polishing. And of course, the PTU cycle just started, so there is a lot of room for improvements before 4.8 goes to live. But this is definitely in the right direction, and you guys is going to love it. Now, the next major feature in 4.8 will be the command module for the Caterpillar. I actually made a fun video testing the bugged command module, and I was waiting for the patch to hit Wave 1 in order to publish that video, which I have uploaded. But that didn't happen, so I guess I have to abandon that video. However, I can describe it here. The Caterpillar's command module is bugged. You can't get to the pilot seat. And if you click the wrong button between the main ship to the command module, it will simply lock you out. You can't access the command module anymore. The command module itself also has a door with a ladder from the outside. However, it is so above ground. It is impossible to click the button to get on that ladder to go into the command module. Oh man, it already sounds stressful, right? There is actually a video in the SE League Discord, and someone successfully tested the command module docking and undocking. If you have the access to that Discord, you can check that video out. But I won't be showing any leaked source in my channel. Just according to what I have tested in the Evo build, this command module is like a Drake clipper. It has two decks. The lower deck has a ladder door, which we'll talk about. That ladder door outside. It's on the port side of the ship, just like the Freelancer or the Prospector. When you click open, doors open, the ladder goes down. But it's so high above ground, you can't access from outside unless you're in space. The first deck has a tracked beam station in the front of the ship. Yes, this command module comes with an additional tracked beam under the nose of the ship, which can be quite convenient and useful because if you detach this command module and use the tracked beam to fly around and track the boxes onto the caterpillar, where the tracked beams on the two wings of the caterpillar cannot access. However, I don't think you can access this tracked beam on the pilot seat. You do need someone to be on the tracked beam station to use the tracked beam, which could also be inconvenient if you're doing this solo. So I hope this tracked beam is slaved to the pilot, but very unlikely. If so, that'll be great. The first deck also has most of the size 1 components, which includes a jump drive. Yes, the command module can do its own quantum jumps as well. The first deck also has a screen for engineering, I believe, but when I was testing it, it's completely bugged. The first deck also has a fire extinguisher and a classic Drake bathroom, which has leaking sinks. At the end of the first deck, there is a ladder to climb up to the second deck or upper deck. Now, at the end of the first and the second deck, you can see two big cool engines spinning around, just like a Drake clipper with smokes and everything. Looks really cool. And that is because there are two big engines in the back of the command module, just like the Drake Herald. But these two engines on the command module is smaller than the Drake Herald. The upper deck is connected to the docking port of the Caterpillar, where you have a door to go in and out of the main ship to the command module. However, as I said earlier, when I was trying to open the door, I locked myself out of the command module completely. I have to use another ship to destroy the Caterpillar to separate the command module. Now, the good thing is that when I try to shoot the Caterpillar and the command module, they're separate things. So when I destroy the Caterpillar, the command module did not take too much damage, and it was separated and dropped on the ground. Only then can I access it from the front door using the ladder. The upper deck of the command module also contains 10 jump seats, 5 on each side. But I'm not sure you can use this ship as a drop ship because once the command module is detached from the main ship, the door on the upper deck is completely shut. You can't get out of there. Maybe this will change later, but I highly doubt it. So the only way to go out from the command module is from the bottom deck, which the door is small and narrow. So it's really hard to use this as a quick drop ship. But as a troop carrier, it's great. It has so much seats and so much room. But there is no bed to log out, and I don't see any weapon racks yet. There is a pilot and a co-pilot seat, just like the Caterpillar. And the command module comes with 2 size 2 hardpoints under the nose. But, as a surprise, there are also 2 size 3 weapons inside the command module. I have no idea why it's there, and those guns almost killed me a couple times. It's just laying on the floor. And when you check the MFD, it actually shows 4 weapons, 2 size 2 and 2 size 3. 2 size 3 you can see outside the ship, but 2 size 3 is laying on the floor inside the ship. I don't know what's going on. And that's pretty much it. And regarding the docking process, I will be doing a detailed testing video once it goes to wave 1 and becomes functional. But for now, I am glad that this command module is here for 4.8, which means the Ironclad and the Iron Assault is ready. It's just 3 weeks away. And I also can smell the engine oil of the Kraken. Exciting times. Release the Kraken! Another major thing I tested is the tactical strike group. Oh, actually, talking about that, another significant change is regarding the sound effect when you shoot your weapon, or especially when your ship is getting hit by bullets. It sounds much deeper, like a drum. Actually, I can play a little bit of this sound for you. Just shh, don't tell anybody about this. Now, let's do a little bit of Star Citizen ASMR.
Shields hit. Target destroyed. Forward proximity alert. Target destroyed. Shields hit. Forward proximity alert. Shield down. Target destroyed. Forward proximity alert. Shields hit. Shield down.
Wow, that sounds amazing. So, as you can hear, that sounds more strong and much cooler than before, right? Now, back to the tactical strike group. I already did a video talk about the 4 stages of this event. But this time, I only tested the first 3 stages, but there are some important changes. Stage 1 is to defeat a few waves of fighters and defending the NPC Idris, which is called Tranquility. I think they reduced the health of the Tranquility. Before, the health is over 50%, but right now, the health of the Tranquility, when it shows up, is only 20% or something. So that might be challenging for you to defend if you are not quick enough. However, it's an Idris, right? It's not easily destroyed. And there is another Idris besides the Tranquility. Once you defeated the enemy fighter waves, the other Idris will open the doors for you to go in and rearm and refuel your small ships. But in this build, this feature is completely bugged. We couldn't repair anything. And that sounds about right. Stage 2 is you need to destroy power relays outside of the asteroid base, which is heavily guarded by multiple turrets, especially 3 laser turrets. And in this patch, I actually did try flying an Idris. And as soon as I approached this asteroid base with that Idris, I instantly got beamed by 2 continuous laser beams. And my fully shielded Idris got completely melted within 10 to 15 seconds, which I really don't have time to maneuver out of the area. I believe it will melt the Polaris even faster, just as last year's CitizenCon showed. But when I was flying a Perseus, the lasers remained dormant. So I guess the laser only target the capital ships, namely the Idris and the Polaris so far. Those power relays need ballistics or missiles to destroy. Lasers on them have no damage effects. Once all 8, I think there are 8 relays, I could be wrong though. Once all those 8 relays are down, 3 tunnel doors will open And then comes stage 3, the trench run. In the previous patch, the trench run has such a high casualty rate because the EMP effects inside those tunnels happen so fast. But in this patch, they have tuned it down a lot. So they actually made it easier to do. And this is the coolest part of the mission, which I won't be describing too much about it. You should experience it yourself. After you completed the objectives in this stage, in the trench run, the stage 4, which is a common FPS battle inside the facility to save some pilots. And after all that, you will be facing the Vandu Mauler. Oh boy, good luck. So, in general, this mission is not as hard as what they told us during the last CitizenCon. An elite group of 2 to 3 people can totally complete this mission. Just the last part, fighting the Mauler, might need some heavy ships. But other than that, the mission requires a lot of cooperation and communication. Another thing very important regarding the tactical strike group, if you're going to test it yourself, is that we find out if everyone dies on the mission site, the mission will fail. So if you're going there as a group, make sure someone is alive on the mission site. So communicate very well. For example, if you have 5 people there, 4 of you died, just tell the other person, stay put, don't do anything. Wait for other people to come back. Just don't die. Everyone dies, mission fail. If they don't tune up the difficulty for this mission, this will be just a small but fun event. And I heard that there are 40 locations for this mission, so it is relatively safe from other players. However, personally, I do think that we need to make this mission bigger, like more ship waves or something, or do not reduce the EMP inside the tunnel too much. Make it a little bit more difficult. Make it challenging. Don't make it too easy, because this is one of the most anticipated events. And we were thinking this is such a huge battle, but 2 to 3 people can just do it. What's the point of a big group battle, right? And that's it for my testing. I couldn't have time to test other things like refueling, Xenothreat missions, which I will try to do tomorrow, but I do have something to do tomorrow, so I'm not sure if I can have the time to do it, but if I do, I will test that. And hopefully, when I get back tomorrow, the patch can go to wave 1 and we can dive into it and test this thing inside and out, days and nights, leave no stone unturned. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.